But how is creativity amplified through artificial and cultural intelligence? Because the two have to run in tandem with one another. And Shauna, I'll start off with you, because Lord knows you've dropped several mics with some of Color Group's visual approaches to some of our thought leadership pieces.
I think it eliminates the brainstorming. It eliminates, there's a lot of times in the past when you were designing, you had to design on paper. You get the idea out of your brain on the paper, and then you got to go source the imagery, put it together, design it out, do it in vector and so on. It's kind of eliminated that piece of it where I have this thought in my head, prompt it, regenerate until I get to a nice spot. Then I bring it into Photoshop. So I feel like it's kind of a two-pronged system. Is one of them, it allows you to rapidly brainstorm, which is great because it's the things that I call happy accidents. You know, something accidentally happens, and you're like, oh, and that just sparks something in you, and you get this really kind of this masterpiece to come out of it. The second thing is it allows me to create stuff that I necessarily wouldn't be able to create off the board, or it would take me 4 or 5 days to create. Oh, as you've seen with some of the 3D stuff that we did, that was AI. I don't have skills in the 3D program, so I can't sit there. I mean, I can learn it, but it's going to be 2 weeks. Our clients don't have 2 weeks. So I think it really, it enhances creativity at the same time while not stifling it. And I think the only time you end up stifling creativity is when people rely 100% on that. And I can tell you through a LinkedIn browse, I can tell you through a Facebook browse exactly which companies are using straight AI and which ones are actually using it very cleverly and very smartly.
I was going to add on. I was going to add on to that, because I think that is where the AI and cultural intelligence start to shake hands. Because the fact that I even think about Sean, the Harriet Tubman photo that you made for us. I can only imagine maybe some of the crude or unusable versions that came back from that. And like you said, if you were with another company or another brand that didn't have that gut reaction of this is wrong, or this is not going to gel, or this is offensive, that iteration gets put out. And that kind of even goes back to Jonathan's kind of like Gucci article that he wrote. There was no one in that room to have that cultural gut check to say, this is offensive, or this is not going to resonate with our audience. Same thing, even not as crude as something like racially charged, but you put something through AI, or you pull something out of Claude AI or ChatGPT, and it's the most generic, plain thing you've pulled out. Culturally, you have to look at it and say, this is not moving. This does not resonate with our audience. And so you can't just take it out of AI and reveal it as it is. It does need those tweaks. And the only people that can do that are humans who have that gut to say, we need to check this. And I think that's where the cultural intelligence comes in, is really that gut check that people have based on, like Nick said, those beliefs and those behaviors are constantly that gut check. And you have to have a really large variety of that to make sure there's no blind spots before you roll it out. And also just understanding too, that we can all have the same beliefs, but have extremely different behaviors based on the shared belief that we have. And those are so many different iterations that can come up from that, from a marketing and communications perspective.